All right. How does this look on your screen, guys? Good? Are you in the conference? Okay. All right. Can everybody at home hear me? Just type in the chat and my secretaries my administrative assistants will let me know. They said yes. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So if you already took financial literacy, you're familiar with this process. Okay. You're familiar with deposit slips and writing checks in general. Business checks are a little different than a regular check. Okay. Along with this, we will do a check register. So you'll see some of these just say debit card. That's because nothing is going to happen on a deposit slip or a check, but we will have to put the information on a check register, which we will do later in the week. Okay. So we have a starting balance in our bank account of $0, but we're going to make a deposit of $750 on November 20th. I guess I should back up. What is a deposit slip? No. Okay, good. This is why I need to back the train up. Yes.
So like you put a check in the bank and someone else to make sure they can benefit your account.
Right. So it's just a record. It's a piece of paper that when you deposit a check or even cash, all right, you have to fill it out and then the bank puts it into your account. All right. Honestly, with today and online checking and stuff, it's not that common that you actually do fill out a deposit slip, because you can actually just take pictures of your checks and they just go right in. Or if you have direct deposit for work, but it's still good to know how to fill one out. Okay. All right. So let's do this first one, $750. So this is your deposit slip. All right. And this is on November 20th. So the date we will write November 20. We'll do 2019 because we always work in the past. Okay. So if we had any cash, the cash would go on this line here. We are not depositing any are we depositing cash? Oh yeah, we are depositing cash. Okay, so the cash goes here. So $750 and then 00. That's the cents. Yes. That's why I have you guys doing it on paper. I just think it's so much easier. All right, then these are, if you had checks, so you would write like check 1, check 2. Okay, you don't have to do that. All right, you then calculate your subtotal. So if you had other numbers that you were going to be adding in, so our subtotal here, there's no other numbers. It's just going to be 750. Now, if you were taking any cash out, it would go here. So sometimes you'll be depositing a check and you want cash back. Okay. And then you have your total deposit amount here. Okay. Now, if you were getting cash back, you would have to sign on this line here. Okay. That's just like for record keeping. And that's all you do. That's a deposit slip. Simple enough, right? All right. On November 21st, you paid your cell phone bill to Verizon for $45.90. So you have some checks on the last page that look like this. These are what we call company checks. They're business checks. So a check is as good as cash. When you give somebody a check, they take it to the bank, they can cash it, and they get cash back. All right. When you are just, if it's your personal checking account, it does not have this stub section over here. Okay, these stubs that you see on the side. If it was a personal checking account, it wouldn't have those. You would just have the check. All right, the reason business companies have those stubs is for their accountants, so they can keep track. So someone is writing out checks, and then the accountant's going to come through and enter the information to make sure everything matches. Okay. So we always want to fill out the stub first. Okay, so this is check number 101. You see we have check numbers. Here's a check number. Okay. Check numbers, the purpose of them is just to kind of keep track, because a check is as good as cash. So you want to make sure that you're not losing your checks. So it's a way to just keep track of them for yourself. Okay. All right. So on November 21st, cell phone bill to Verizon for $45.50. So I always say fill out the stub first. Okay. So I'm going to, so you could just write the date, November 21st. And you could write them the date however you want. Okay. All right, and this is going to be to Verizon. See, now this is like, this always happens to me. Okay, it's for cell phone bill. Okay, now total, this total. That's what the total in your checking currently is. Okay, we know it was 0 and then we made a deposit of $750. So here we're going to write $750. Okay. Less this check. So this check is for $45.90. Nothing else is happening, so there's no other. So our balance is going to be $750 minus $45.90. What? It's something with 10 cents. Look at my math skills. 5. No. Yeah. 705.10. Yeah. Did I just do that in my head? That's super impressive. I impressed myself. Thank you, Katie. Katie's applauding me. That was very kind. All right. So now we filled out the stub. Now we can actually write the check. So for those of you that have never written a check, you fill the date out on the side here. So 11/21/19. Okay. Paid to the order of Verizon. That's who we are paying. Whenever filling out a check, you always want to make sure that you are putting your things as close to the edge of each line as possible so there's not any room for people to alter them, okay? $45.90 goes over here in this box. Again, as close to that dollar sign as possible so nobody adds in any numbers, right? All right, on the line here where it says dollars, you write that amount in words. So we write 45 and now we write the cents. So out of 100, 90 out of 100. And then you draw a line. Okay. This way, again, nobody can alter it. When a check is taken to the bank, the teller that cashes it is supposed to check that whatever is written here matches what is here. Okay. If it doesn't, they're not supposed to cash it. Okay. All right. 4 is like a memo. You can write bill, cell phone bill. And then you sign your name. Huh? I still can't hear you. You sign it on that line where I signed it. Yep. Now, should you write a check in pencil or pen, you think? Pen, right? Never write it in pencil. It's easily altered. Okay? Yep, in pen. All right. On November 22nd, you received $200 from a paycheck which was direct deposited into your account. It's important. I'm not going to do anything with it just yet. Okay? But keep it in mind. On November 23rd, you bought $10 worth of McDonald's with your debit card. So here's what we're going to do. We should probably actually be keeping track of this somewhere else. Let's see. Oh gosh, I hate when it does that. All right. So like on a separate sheet of paper, on the bottom of this front sheet, we'll do this, okay? So our current balance in the account is what? 705.10. Let's write that. Okay. We then deposited 200, so let's add in 200. So normally we would be keeping a check register where we're updating this balance. I don't like to do the check register and the deposit slips and the checks on the same day because I feel like it's super overwhelming, right? So I like to do like the deposits and the checks, and then at the end of the week, we'll do the register, okay? All right, so you bought $10 worth of McDonald's, so we're gonna subtract out $10. We used our debit card. Did I do that right? Yeah, thank you. See, failed second grade math and I'm proud of it. Okay. You went to the Shell station and you spent $25 on gas. So we're going to subtract that out. So 870.10 is our current balance in the account. Why did I do that? Because we're about to write a check. And when we write this next check, we have to know the updated balance on the account through the check stub. Okay? So on November 23rd, you spent $50 at Target. That's a cheap trip. Can anybody go into Target and only spend $50? No. No. Brandon's like, what are you talking about? It's like crazy, ladies. You did yesterday?
Yeah.
And you spent less than 50? That's straight up impressive. That's really good. All right, so let's write this check. So check number 102. Don't worry about the numbers on our samples. If our check numbers don't match the checks we're writing, it's really not a big deal. All right, so the balance. So really what you should be doing, and we're not going to do it because it gets too involved, is like you'd put the deposits and all that information here. Okay, every stub looks a little different. So all I'm going to ask is that before you write any check, you give an updated total here. Okay? And so we said the total was what? I forgot already. 870.10. Does anybody have any questions about where the 870.10 came from and or why we did it? Administrative assistants, is anybody asking in the classroom or no? No, they're probably all sleeping. Gianna goes, yeah. Okay, let's write our check. So November 24th. Write our date. This is to Target. And again, who's really writing a check, right? If I get behind someone in the store that's writing a check, I like want to scream. But again, we should still know how to do it. All right, so what was this for? We didn't say what it's for, so we'll just say miscellaneous. Okay. So this check is 50. There's no other. So, 8/20/10. Okay, so over here, we write Target. Oh, we gotta write the date first. Apologize. $50. Now I do XX over 00 if there's no cents. Actually, you could do over 100. Doesn't really matter. There's a million ways you can, not a million, but there's quite a few ways you can represent cents when you're writing checks. Okay, you can do 00 over 00. You can do XX over 00. You can do XX over 100. You can do XX over 00. Did I say that? It doesn't really matter. You just need to represent the amount of change on the top, and that it's out of 100. And that 100 can be displayed as 00. I have always done XX. Why? Because that's how my mom always did it. Okay. How do you do it, Ms. Fox? She does 00. So it just depends. Okay. Either is fine. All right. So this is for miscellaneous. And then we sign our name. All right. Everybody okay? And let's go back to that first page and update our total for ourselves. And again, later in the week, I will show you how this is all done. I'm going to bring it up here. How this is all done in Excel. Updating of the register. You'll probably already figure out. All right. We've got two more. On November 25th, you received your $20 from cutting your neighbor's lawn and you're going to deposit it. Okay, so we're going to come over here and do a deposit slip. So November 25th, cash of $20. Subtotal of 20. Any questions about that one? Pretty simple. Why don't we put it where? Because the deposit slips are something you give to the bank. So the question was, why don't we write the total of 82010 on the deposit slip? The deposit slip is something you give to the bank when you're giving them the cash or the check. So they don't care how much is in your account because they can just look it up. The stubs, the business, the checking stubs are for the business. So they want to look at that and see what has happened from the last time they wrote a check. Okay? It was a good question. All right, let's add that into our running tally over here. So 840.10. All right, and last thing we're going to do, we are paying our friend Bobby Joe the $15 that we owed him. Okay, so we're going to go over to our checks. We're going to bring in our new total of 840.10. Okay, so this is November 26th. See, look, I wrote the date different on this one. Go figure. To Bobby Joe for, we'll say loan. $15. $71, does that seem right? No, 61, right? No, 71. Nope. 69. Thank you, Katie. Yes, I failed second grade math again. Oh, that shouldn't go in other. Sorry.
It's supposed to be a balance.
Yes, that is the balance.
One.
It wouldn't be a lesson with Dowdell unless I made a mistake.
The 1 minus 1 goes to 0.
Is that better, Katie? Should I do it right now? Well, the check was for $15. It wasn't for $15.10. So I wrote the wrong amount in there. I know. Where do you see 83? No, it's not 84. Thanks, Jess. All right, Katie, bear with me. Uh-oh, Katie, here we go. I really messed up. I know.
Blunder.
Big blunder.
Blunder.
All right, here we go.
Blunder.
We're gonna erase. It is an epic fail. I like that one. 8, 40, 10. That was our balance that we did. Thank you, Jess. Okay, then it was $15. Okay. So now the bar is a 5, 2, 8. Did I do it right? Yes. 825.10. Okay.
It's supposed to be subtracted.
Yeah, we subtracted the 15 from the 840.
Yeah. I will pick that. Oh, it should say. Oh, 26.
So this morning I walked in and I was like, Corinne, this is me talking to myself. Corinne, you should really sit down and do this before you try to go over it so you have your key. It's like, nah, I'll be fine. I've done this 55,000 times. Oops. All right, let's write our check. Last year, I taught my students how to do closing entries, and I taught them completely backwards, like reverse. Like I was like, we need to debit the drawing account to close it. Like I did it completely backwards. Didn't realize I did it completely backwards. So the end of class, and I looked at the board and I went, okay, forget everything I just said, and we're going to try again tomorrow. Yep. So really, we have made out very, very good here. So some people, when they write, if it's just a single dollar amount, I should show you this too. They will just write 15 and then do like a little line like that. You can do that if you'd like, okay, if you don't want to do the 0.00. There's a lot of variations on how to do this stuff. Here, I'll do the 00 over 00 this time. All right, and this is for a loan. Did I do something wrong, Amanda? Okay, you're looking at it like. All right, any questions on that? That was super confusing and I apologize, that last one there. I was actually making sure people were awake. It was all a plan. Yep. All right, let me. No, I know. They're probably just sleeping over there. All right, no questions at home. I'm going to stop my recording.